her witness, and she read a Bible passage to us, and she gave us this booklet. And I do respect the Jehovah's Witnesses for what they do. They go out and they try to help people. And I told her that I go to the Hopewell Church. And I said, that's the church where they had 600 youth, or was it 800? And came from all over the United States. And they went out and helped people, elderly people, with home repairs. And she said, oh yes, I read about that. And then I told her the joke about Adam and Eve. God, why did you create Eve? And she laughed and laughed. And I gave her the compliment that Franklin was a newspaper reporter in Buffalo, and Jehovah's Witnesses would have their conventions up there. And they always left the convention hall so neat. They always left everything clean and neat and tidy. So I have respect for you, Jehovah's Witnesses. I brought up the point with her that they don't vote. I think that's wrong. Wrong, wrong, wrong. And she tried to explain to me why. And there they go now. There were 3 of them in the car. Dorothy Bates and 3 others. So they deserve a lot of credit. Big news, folks! Cablevision is going to put public access down to Channel 20. Hooray, 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 hooray. I used to get many, many, many more calls when I was on Channel 25 than I do when I'm on Channel 70. So hooray! And they're going to try to do this all over. See, I got this letter from Yesenia out in Riverhead. I love Riverhead. We don't have to sign any forms because the town fathers out there said that those forms were illegal, and if they're illegal in Riverhead, they're illegal in Westchester, Rockland, Dutchess, everywhere else they're illegal, in New Jersey. And so this is good news. Thank you, Yesenia. Public access is going to be on Channel 20 starting December 3rd, 2002. I know Cablevision didn't do this out of love for public access because they don't have any, but they did it for some reason that's good for them. Well, it's good for us. I just called the White Plains Library and talked to the greatest reference librarian in the world, Oliver Swift. And rather mundane question, but I need the name, address, and telephone number of the CEO of Kellogg's. Kellogg's bought Worthington Foods. And about 7 months ago, Kellogg's ruined Wham. Wham was terrific. It was a vegetable protein product. Tasted better than ham. And they've ruined it. It has no taste now at all. And I've been waiting for it to come back, but it hasn't. So I pressed my point with the secretary of the chairman and president, Mr. Gutierrez, that I wanted Wham to go back to what it used to be. So, you think that will get us anywhere, folks? You see, my cats would eat Wham. They loved it. They'd eat it 3 times a day. And it was very good for them because it's made from vegetable protein, soy. Then I went out and called Penny, and I really called hard. I did it pretty loudly, and boy, she came running as fast as she could, just as fast as she could. It was so cute. We have a couple of calls here that you'd like to hear. One is from Jonathan Jaffes, Jaffes Tire.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Bye.
I'm getting older. And then a fan call.
41, yeah. But notice, Jaffes, cool. Good to hear from you. And I'm worried about you. You haven't seen me off for about 3 weeks. That's not something the matter. But I have to get on. I can watch Clark from time to time. You be well. That's the fine. Bye. Friday, 5 p.m.
I love your program. It's powerful. We just filed October, 2 weeks late, and we had to find a place for it in the museum, the October file and the October receipts, but we did, and then you have to index it. I'm going to mention to you again the National Association for the Preservation of Social Security and Medicare. Please sign and return the enclosed petition telling the new 108th Congress that protecting the Social Security Trust funds must be one of its top domestic priorities. Indeed, indeed, indeed. So, it's a long letter about it by Barbara Kennelly, whom I cannot get to come to the phone and meet you and talk to you. But I'm going to send back this petition. No money this time. First time we sent him $20, the second time we sent him 10.
Very good.
So I'll ask Franklin to sign this petition to the leadership of the 108th Congress. Make protecting the Social Security Trust funds a top priority in 2003. So what's the project, folks? I have to return all these empty copy cartridges to Thomas DeLuca. He recycles my copy cartridges for $75. So here's $300 worth of them. Cube. I tried them 4 different ways before I found out how they would fit in this box. Microwave oven box. So tell me how to keep them from rattling. What do you say I go out and get the bread knife and cut this, and cut this, and cut this? Do you think I'll be able to fold this? And then they'll be securely, they'll fill the box, the new box. I think it's working, I think it's working. I think it might work. Oh, you hold this in for me. You hold this in for me while I strap it. I think we did it, didn't we? This is the worst product. This thing is always going back and sticking onto itself. And it's 5 or 6 minutes getting it unraveled and getting it going again. Don't buy this kind. Do not buy that kind. Buy this kind. You see that flap on it? That flap keeps it from going back and sticking. So always buy the one with the flap on it. Don't buy that other kind. And there it goes to you, Thomas DeLuca. 3000 Bronx Park East, Bronx, New York, 10467. Well, let's take it down and put it in the 1993 Lincoln. Ready to post tomorrow in Hopewell. Was talking to God.
And he says, God, why did you make Eve? And God says, I thought you were lonesome. And Adam says, well, God, why did you make her so beautiful? And God says, well, so you would like her. And Adam says, well, God, why did you make her so dumb? And God said, so she would like you. Oh, clever, Glendora, that's great. Okay.
I keep studying the church directory, looking at the pictures and looking at the names. Some of the people I never see, but I keep studying the names in the book, and I guess I've learned some of them. I don't like not knowing people's names, and I wish they would wear badges. I don't see what's so wrong about that, wearing badges. There's the man who made the church, painted the church, and he did such a great job, Kevin Mulligan. Oh, he did such a great job. He did perfectly. So thoroughly. Folks, this is a excellent letter from Ethan Book Jr. in Fairfield, Connecticut to Governor Rowland of the state of Connecticut, in which Ethan makes it very, very clear that the previous letters that Ethan sent to Rowland resulted in the dismissal of his motions in the Superior Supreme Court in the state of New York, in the state of Connecticut. And I believe that Ethan is right. I believe that Rowland set the wheels turning, and the judge way down the line in the Supreme Court, whose signature is here and whose writing is illegible, I believe that these orders dismissing his motions are a result of Rowland's of the letters that he wrote to Rowland. You remember that I read you that letter, a great deal of it. And then it is further order sua sponte, on their own ignorant ego, that Mr. Ethan Book is hereby prohibited from filing with his court any further papers relating to this matter. Well, that's First Amendment retaliation. And they are liable. They are liable to him under Civil Rights, Title 42 U.S. Code. And now they've gone after him, and they've harassed him. And it's terrible what they've done to him. So this is very, very well written and very, very, very well presented. This is Ethan Book of Fairfield, Connecticut. I called Ethan Book and talked to him at great length. And he is really getting through to them. And I'm talking about Governor Rowland and the suspects. And they are beginning to retaliate and try to keep him busy other ways and stop him, if you know what I mean. This is another letter, October 31st, All Saints' Eve, from Ethan Book to Rowland, where Ethan says in no uncertain terms that Governor Rowland is involved in the triangle of the corruption of the Bridgeport Development Authority and the Connecticut Resources Development Authority, and that great big scandal, and that Ethan is getting too close to the truth for comfort. The 8th letter of Ethan Book sent to me, and I think all of them have been reported on TV to you, is November 9th, and it's pointing out to Governor Rowland that he needs judicial reform. And this paragraph, I think, is going to summarize it. In this regard, I refer to the attached first page of my letter to you of October 27, 2002, in which I describe recent Connecticut Supreme Court rulings regarding public information. These were court rulings on Connecticut Resources Recovery Authority et al. Versus the Freedom of Information Commission. See, they know they've done wrong. They know they've done wrong, and they are trying to cover it up, you see, folks. And Rowland seems to be part of this. It looks very strongly as though he is. A long-term case by which I seek access to the preferred bid given to the Connecticut Resources Recovery Authority for redevelopment of the $300 million Greater Bridgeport Resources Recovery Project, and Ethan Book versus Freedom of Information Commission. Cases in which I seek certain information regarding the Connecticut Resources Recovery Authority their authority to act, and also patterns of bias in state agency action. The rulings were adverse to the interests of the general public. and favorable to the protection of vested and even hidden vested interests, which of course we all know are crooked interests. And this cat really doesn't care. Folks, those 23 jobs that came in the mail a week ago tomorrow, that would be November the 13th, are done. So tomorrow I'll go to the post office again and get pummeled again with in-mail. We go out of the woods only twice a week. Wednesday to go to the post office, the bank, the library, and Walmart. And also tomorrow, Circuit City. I want to see what they have for camcorders. They always have a good selection. And Sunday to go to 2 churches. The rest of the days we are in the house. Oh, sunshine, folks. Sunshine. Folks, I'd better tell you some jokes before the battery wears out again. This is why I'm going to get a Sony, I think, because the Sony has an infolithium battery and it goes on and on. Okay, first joke is the Jewish people had a gorilla since the gorilla was a baby, and they brought the gorilla up like one of the family, and when the gorilla was 10, 11, 12 years old, they asked the rabbi for a bar mitzvah, and the rabbi says, no, that would be sacrilegious. And the man said to the woman, then I guess we can't give that $1 million for the new wing of the synagogue. And the rabbi said, oh, why didn't you tell me he was Jewish? Why do ducks fly upside down? Or what happens when ducks fly upside down? They quack up. And they're not going to publish the Chinese telephone book anymore. There are too many wings and too many wongs. Everybody is winging the wrong number. The IRS said to Charlie, we're having a problem with your income tax deductions for medical. And Charlie says, why? What's wrong? And the IRS said, and so we went to the Hopewell Church, and the minister came out to the car and visited with Franklin. And Franklin says that he won't care anymore that people think he's walking too slowly. And he'll go to church Sunday. We left off in the middle of the jokes because of the battery situation, which I think we're going to correct today.
Because what?
Battery situation. Battery doesn't last long enough. And now we'll go to the... Takes 3/4 an hour. I'll put these expenses into the book. Yesterday's expenses. Groceries were $70-something, $74. earphones, sweater, extension cord. I could have got an extension cord for 77 cents, folks. But they had this new kind. It was called Blue Glitter. It was something new and different. So I paid $3.50 for an extension cord. So that's a day at Walmart's. I bought the Sony camcorder, TRW or TRV 609. I got home last night and I found out it doesn't have a remote control. That's no good. You have to have a remote control. Right, Red Teddy? So I'm going to call Sony today and find out where we have to go and how much to get a remote control. This Canon came with a remote control. You can remote control the zoom in and zoom out. The main thing is that you can turn it on and off. You can go from play to pause and pause to play without getting out of the chair or whatever. This is some of the in-mail. There's a new camcorder that doesn't have a remote. That's the first class there. First class mail. Where'd you go for 2.5 hours, Penny? Glennie and Franklin don't like that. No. 2.5 hours you were out. In November weather. So who gets a gold star this week? Kevin Bailey. He got his tapes in. A Chat with Glendora and the Hidden Truth. Patrice at LTV, Amagansett. Montauk and East Hampton. She got her tapes in. She gets a gold star. And Alan Sherman in Trenton, New Jersey. He got the tapes in. So he gets a gold star. And Kareem in Brooklyn. Brooklyn Community Access Television. He got back about 18 tapes, A Chat with Glendora and the Hidden Truth. Thomas DeLuca gets a gold star for sending 4 copy cartridges that were recycled. That's a big bill, $300. These are the Hidden Truth, and they're mostly Super VHS. And Lori Galgano needs Super VHS, so I'll send those to her. The box says to call 1-888-449-SONY.
Thank you for calling Sony.
And the
For insurance purposes, this call
numbers
may
on the letters on the telephone are all worn off
Please hold for
and
the
have
next
been
available
for years. So I had to call library information and ask library information what the numbers were for SONY. And it's 7669. And I've been on hold for 5 minutes. I don't want a digital camera. I want an analog camera. And this is a digital camera. Franklin and I are making a Waldorf salad. Did you ever have one?
Please hold for the next available.
It's apple, raisins, walnuts, and celery. With whatever salad dressing you want. This is very frustrating, all the time that it takes, and you don't seem to get anywhere calling Sony.
Thank you. All right, what happens when ducks fly upside down? Okay. What happens when ducks fly upside down? We're in trouble. They quack up. That's cute. That's really cute. Okay. Take care. Thank you. You too, sir. Thank you for calling, honey. You're welcome. Bye.
So if you get a digital camera, you have to use different tapes. That DVC tape, or whatever it is, and you can't play your 8 mils in it. So we got to stick with the 8 mil. So I'm going to take this camera back. Because number one, it doesn't have a remote. Number two, it doesn't have that automatic lens closing. It has a cap lens, and I like the automatic lens that closes inside. And if I'm not going to get it in this Sony camera, then I don't want the Sony camera. And I do need a remote. Because if I'm sitting there videotaping and telling you reports, I have to get up and shut off the camera. Well, with the Canon, you don't. You press a button, the camera records, you press a button, and it goes into pause. So more and more, Franklin and I conclude that this is the better camera. It's better than the new ones. This 3-year-old camera is better than the new ones. Application. They fill it out. I'll send them this tape. Looks to me like a pretty good operation. And here's the other form I filled out. And I told David Vogel that I would help him get on TV in New York. So I guess the decision is to keep this camera, not to buy a new camera. And then we ordered the battery, a 2.5-hour battery. We ordered that from Canon, and it's $125. That's an awful big price. Then we got to solve the problem of the lithium battery, the little tiny battery underneath. That's supposed to keep the graphics. Something's wrong with that. Either it's a bad battery, but it's a brand new battery. It's supposed to last a year. And it never has worked since it was new.
Thank you.
This is Francisco in Indiana. His battery is 3.5 to 4 hours.
Okay, what happens when ducks fly upside down?
What?
Ducks fly upside down? Do you know what happens when ducks fly upside down?
No.
They crack up.
Okay.
Okay, Francisco, where are you? What state are you in?
Indiana.
Oh, in Indiana?
Yeah.
Okay.
His battery was only $55.99. It's not a Canon. But the Canon battery is $125 and it goes for 2.5 hours. What do you think? We made the wrong choice? I kind of think we did. It's quite a lot of difference. Total price on Canon is $135. I think it's about $70 difference. No, about 50. So, Adam was talking to God, and Adam said, "Why did you make Eve?" And God said, "I thought you were lonesome."
We're lonesome. And then Adam says, well, God, why'd you make her so beautiful? And God says, so that you would like her. And Adam says, well, God, why did you make her so dumb? And God said, so she would like you.
I didn't like both, too. I gotta remember that one. That's a good one.
Okay.
All right, Glendora. Talk to you soon.
Okay, Marco.
Here's a fourth-class meal, applets and cotlets. They make those delicious candies, but they're too expensive to buy. Eco Direct, isn't that a beautiful picture? Beautiful. EH Photo. Maybe I should have looked in here about buying a camcorder. They're quite a company. Canon. Oh, look what they had about Canon. Oh well, decisions made. Folks, we got this red towel to put over the Cypress desk to make the room more red. Penny has found it, and she's been on it all day. So I guess that's worth the $3, don't you think? It does make the room more red. That's funny, the camera has a hard time focusing. Now why is that? I have a hard time focusing. Maybe I should clean the lens. "41 pieces of in-mail, folks. 41 jobs to do." Dutchess Community College, that Very interesting, the courses they have. The education, the knowledge, the information. It's an interesting universe. It's a fascinating world, all the things that are going on in it. I see why that won't focus. It's on a thing called far and near. It's autofocus. We got to get it off of there, and I don't know how to do that. I think we got rid of it. Let's see if it focuses now. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was on manual focus, I think. Near and far. That's what it said. We got rid of it. Wore out the battery, but we got rid of it. So, folks, the reason it wouldn't focus was that it was on like that manual focus somehow. And by trial and error, I got it back to autofocus. Now, this is the trust, the living trust of Franklin and Glendora, and you've got to do this, folks. It's arduous, but you've got to do it. But you don't want everything you have to go to the state of New York, and you don't want to pay probate fees, and you don't want to pay lawyer fees, and you don't want to pay judge fees. So you got to do this, folks, and I'm way behind on it. I'm catching up on it since way back 1st of November, I guess. You're going to go live at Rick Kowarski if Franklin and Glendora become disabled. You and Katie. Richard is a marvelous person. He's rescued 9 cats in the house, and then he has about 15 outside the house that he feeds. And he rescued a dog from a Mount Vernon parking lot that was injured. That's Moose. Okay, where were we? You've got to do this, folks. You got to write a living trust. This is the log on it. This is the trust itself. You got to list everything you own, and then make the instructions. We got constructions, destructions. Make the instructions very, very clear, and who the trustees are. Okay? Goes on and on and on, and lists all your possessions, all your assets. Now we're into the part I've got to go back here and list the summary table. This is about the cars, who owns the cars, and the registration, and the evidence of title. And this is the page I've got to go back and fill in, listing all of the assets right here. Now this is Article 4, die instructions. This is how we want things handled. Our bodies are to be donated to the New York Medical College. Now we've got to insert the paper for those. See, this started out as a funeral planning project. My mother used it, and it was excellent. When she died, the funeral director took care of everything, and it was way under $500, maybe way under $300. That was in 1983. And Franklin and I belonged to the Buffalo Memorial Society, and then when we moved to New York, we became members of the Funeral Planning Association of Westchester, and now they've degenerated into something called the Funeral Consumer Information Society of Westchester. They don't even keep the records anymore. And then it evolved into a die instructions. Remember how we worked on that 15 minutes a day? Now we've got a segue from die instructions, which will become the living trust. Now this is complicated, I know, but this book by Esperti and Peterson makes it very clear what to do. It's an excellent book. It's a lot of loquacity in it. He's like me, he wanders all over the place. So, that's the project for today. And here's big news. Since Franklin's malaise a month ago, when he went on the errands, and his eyes went bad, and that turned everything bad, and made him lose his balance and his confidence, and he went downhill. But he is an amazing man with his recoveries. He always seems to come back. And now, this morning, out of the blue, he said, I want to take a shower. Up until then, I've asked him several times, and he couldn't get into the bathtub. Couldn't get his legs over the bathtub rim. Now he's in there splashing around, taking a shower, and singing his heart out. And folks, that's very, very good for 83 years old. Our 48th wedding anniversary is Christmas Day. And we haven't been married to anybody else, just to each other. And guess what? It's raining. 3 sunny days out of 15. This November's been really something, but you want to know? Only a month away, and the daylight starts lengthening. On December 21st, the winter solstice. The sun stands still, and then it starts rising farther and farther to it rises in the east, but it rises farther and farther to the north. Okay? That sunrise Wednesday, November 20th, the day of the full moon, was spectacular. Spectacular. Did I say sunrise? The moonrise. And we saw it at the horizon from Walmart's on Route 9 in Fishkill. And it was spectacular. And we saw it all the way up Route 82, and we saw it all the way up the Taconic, and then we saw it again up 82 north of Route 44. It was spectacular. It was a full moon, and it was orange, a great big orange ball. It was on November 20th. And then it got all cloudy, and we've never seen the moon since. Now, I wanted to get a videotape of that for you and show it to you, because it would make you praise the Lord. And there was no battery. You see, this little battery only lasts about 25 minutes. And 5 minutes of that it takes to reset the graphics, which I see I don't have on. And so yesterday we made the decision not to buy a Sony, not to buy a new camcorder, to return the camcorder that we have, the one we paid $425 for, a Sony TRV 608. We decided to return it, and we decided to buy a Canon battery that goes for 2.5 hours, and that costs $125. So that's a decision there. And we could have got it for $55 from Circuit City Battery Express. So that was a bad decision too. And I don't know what's wrong with these Japanese. You know, you see that Glendora 914, 949, 9495? They keep taking it off, you know. If you change the camera to stop or anything else, or to start it up again, that graphic disappears unless you use the auxiliary switch, the great big red bar. I think that's a bad arrangement. They should keep that up there continuously. Folks, they're There were a lot of good messages. I think you ought to hear them. Okay? 1-914-949-9495. I think you ought to hear these. There's a lot going on, getting Franklin out of the shower.
Did you know?
You have 10 messages in mailbox 1. Mailbox 1, Tuesday, 7:09 a.m.
Hi. I know that I rung the right number and that this is Glendora. I could tell from the joyous greeting. Glendora, this is Barbara calling.
Barbara Devlin.
75-2942. I have a question to ask you. I understand that you're in Westchester. I'm going away for a few months, and I was wondering, do you know of anybody perhaps who works in New York and would be interested in subletting an apartment in the city? Or if you wanted to advertise in the Westchester area, do you think it would be worth it, etc.? Okay, it was only a 3 or 4 month period, but I figured, winter months are coming, Christmas is coming, etc. The most important thing is, one, I would appreciate it very much if you would give me a call back on this, 1-2-755-2942. Thanks again, sweetheart. Hope that you and your hubby are well. Bye.
Tuesday, 12:16 p.m.
Hi, Glendora, Thomas Marsh, 516-509-4675. Still trying to get in touch with you. And I'd like to speak with you about several matters. So thank you very much.
Tuesday, 1:37 p.m.
Hi, Glendora, Jim Burnett. I just got the card in the mail for your second time slot, and it's not bad, I don't think. Chat with Glendora will air on Monday at 3 p.m. That's the extra time slot. And our extra time slot is, I guess all right, I won't try anything. Sunday at 11:30 a.m. So we both have our regular time slots, and these are extras. Let me see, maybe, who knows, maybe you get more viewers at these times. So they can help twice a week. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Wednesday, 7:28 a.m.
Hi, this is Kathy Biadrelli in Town Ridge. I just want to let you know that Al passed away in his sleep on Monday evening, and there's going to be something, the obituary in the Journal tomorrow. And I just figured you've been nice enough to keep calling, and your prayer group has prayed for him, so I just wanted to let you know. Thank you.
Wednesday, 2:59 p.m.
Good afternoon. This is Beulah. It's Karen Galasso from J.P. Morgan Chase. It is Wednesday, November 20th. You called and left a message a while ago and said you were mailing me checks. I'm a little concerned. I haven't received the checks yet. I was wondering if you mailed them, if something happened. Please call me or write me a note at the branch to let me know what you've decided. I hope all is well and that things are fine with you. Please let me know that you're receiving my messages, and we can go forward. Thanks, and have an excellent day.
Wednesday, 3:48 p.m. Thursday, 8:35 a.m.
Okay, I thought it was pretty interesting to you if you're an old-time Chat with Glendora watcher.
3 p.m.
Chat with Glendora has been on public access for 30 years.
My name is Richard Wagner. I can be reached at 497-4887. I'm always interested in people like yourself who are Well, you can reach me at that number and bring us off stories, okay? Good luck with yourself there. You're a tough broad. Proud to be an American with you.
Thank you very much, Richard. I feel what you're saying,
5:20
what you're feeling.
p.m. Thursday, 6:03 p.m. End of messages. To save all messages, hang up. Mailbox 1, Sunday,
This is Huntington.
a.m. End of messages. Messages deleted.
This is the book that Franklin is listening to, Barbarians at the Gate. This is about Wall Street, and it's about the fall of RJR Nabisco, about the greed and viciousness on Wall Street, a world that you should be glad that you're not in. And he's listening to this on audio cassette. Ross Johnson, it's about him. And I hope you're driven by something higher. Jim Cahagan in Rockland County, Valley Cottage, just told us that you can take the ARP, American Association of Retired Persons, driving course, and you can get 10% off your insurance, or some big figure. You can save like $50 a year. And then he told me that he was talking on the phone to American Express about his account, and the woman he was talking to was in India. In India. And he couldn't believe that. And so the next call, business call he made, he asked that person, he says, would you believe that? And that person says, yes, you're talking to me in India, in Bombay. They spread their business all over the world because he says that people work for pennies. And then he said somebody else told him that they conducted all of their telephone business from Panama. So that's Jim Hagan, who is the signer and mentor for A Chat with Glendora in Rockland County. I just told Paul LaPlante and told him that he'd always been good about A Chat with Glendora, taking care of it for years, and that Dan Ciccone had to step in and change the time from 9 p.m. Tuesdays to 7:30 p.m. Tuesdays. Well, Dan Ciccone, I told Paul, is going to have his pantsuit off. I'm going to own his house, and I'm going to own his car, and he's going to have to hitchhike between these Cablevision systems. This is Jim Cahagan philosophizing about cats.
Yeah, that was special.
Yeah.
And you know they all are.
Oh, they all are. Yeah.
But they all have their own thing.
They're all so interesting. Yeah, they do.
Not like people. A lot of people are just a pain in the butt. You don't even want to talk to them to start with. But it's always good to call and talk to you.
Okay.
All right. And Franklin, you keep him in the background. Just keep him busy. Keep moving.
Did I tell you about Adam?
No.
Adam was talking to God,
Yeah.
and he says, God, why did you make Eve? And God said, I thought you were lonesome. And Adam says, well, God, why did you make her so beautiful? And God said, so she would like you. Well, God, why did you make her so dumb? And God said, so she would like you.
Okay, Glendora.
Take care.
Thank you for calling. You have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
That's Jim Cahagan in Rockland County, Valley Cottage. This is all the work that came in the in-mail, November 20th. 41 jobs to do. I'm going to run away from home. I'm going to run away from home. 41 jobs. Including the legal papers.
All right. Did you hear about the Chinese telephone directory? No. They're not going to publish the Chinese telephone directory anymore?
Why is that?
Well, there's so many wings and so many wrongs, everybody is winging the wrong number.
Thank you, Glendora.
Thank you, Bert.
Bye.
Okay. The Joyce family had a gorilla, a little baby gorilla, and they brought it up as like one of the family. And when the gorilla was 10, 11, 12 years old, they said to the rabbi, can we have a bar mitzvah? And the rabbi says, oh no, that would be sacrilegious. And the man said to the woman, well, I guess we can't give them that $1 million. And you know where I need your help? I need your help on pig skill. To find a replacement for Lindy. Poor sweet Lindy.
Yeah, let's print out. Somebody had printed something in the paper. I'll print it out and give it to you.
That's so sweet of you.
Yeah, that's a nice article.
It was?
Yeah, it said, she was acting at the
Wendy Hartzman.
board meetings and things like that.
Yes, she was. They put her in jail.
I know.
And then she fought it at the appellate term, and I helped her all along how to do that. And she won, and they said, give her back her money.
Yeah, good.
Oh, that's wonderful they had an article about her.
Yeah, I'll print it up for you.
That's sweet of you.
Okay, I'm going a little bit.
Now, what about pig skill? What am I going to get?
Pig skill.
I got to get somebody for pig skill. You were going to send me the list. Did you do that?
Yeah, I was told that you have to come in to see the list.
No, that's not right. No, that's against New York. That's against New York state law. Who said that? I'll sue 'em. That's against.
This is Jason with Staten
Anything
Island.
else? We're doing fine.
He's doing an excellent
Yeah,
job.
we're doing fine. So you here ready for today's joke? A man was in the White House and he saw a gold phone, and people said to him, well, you can talk to God on that phone. He called up God and he talked for 3 minutes, and the man says, well, what do I owe you? And they said $300. That very month he was transferred to Israel, and he saw a gold phone there, and he said, oh yes, you can talk to God on that phone. He called up and he talked to God for 3 minutes. He said, what do I owe you? And they said 30 cents. He says, what? In the Oval Office, they charged me $300. And they said, over here, it's a local call. Okay, I like you, and thanks a lot, Jason. No problem, brother. I really appreciate it. I've talked to Pat.
That's
I need your help. I need your help on pig skill. To find a replacement for Lindy. Poor sweet Lindy.
Yeah, let's print out. Somebody had printed something in the paper on her. I'll print it out and give it to you.
That's so sweet of you.
Yeah, it was a nice article.
It was?
Yeah, it said, she was active at the
Lindy Hartzman.
board meetings and things like that.
Yes, she was. They put her in jail.
I know.
And then she fought it at the appellate term, and I helped her all along how to do that. And she won, and they said, give that girl back her money.
Yeah, good.
Well, that's wonderful they had an article about her.
Yeah, I'll print it up for you.
That's sweet of you.
Okay, I'm putting on a bit.
Now, what about pig skill? What am I going to get?
Pig skill.
I got to get somebody for pig skill. You were going to send me the list. Did you do that?
Yeah, I was told that you have to come in to see the list.
No, that's not right. No, that's against that's against New York state law. Who said that? I'll sue 'em. That's against.
This is Jason for Staten
Anything
Island.
else? We're doing fine, aren't we?
He's doing an excellent
Yeah,
job.
we're doing fine. So you here ready for today's joke? A man was in the White House. He saw a gold phone, and people said to him, "Well, you can talk to God on that phone." He called up God, and he talked for 3 minutes. And the man says, "Well, what do I owe you?" And they said, $300. That very month, he was transferred to Israel, and he saw a gold phone there. And he said, "Oh yes, you can talk to God on that phone." He called up and he talked to God for 3 minutes. He said, "What do I owe you?" And they said, 30 cents. He says, "What?" In the Oval Office, they charged me $300. And they said, "Over here, it's a local call." Okay, I like you, and thanks a lot, Jason. No problem, I really appreciate it. I've talked to Pat.
That's Staten Island, and Jason is doing a perfect job. Folks, the next voice that you hear is Jim at Los Alamos Public Access. And his name is Nick. Did I say Jim? His name is Nick. I called Jean Gendreau, and she wasn't there. She teaches in the high school in the mornings. Isn't that nice?
You have a good holiday next week? Yes, I'm thankful for you, Jason. No problem, thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone.
Glendora, Sister Agreed.
It is, huh?
Yeah, good to hear from you.
Oh, thank you, Nick.
Yeah,
I'm glad to meet you, too.
yeah, excellent. Thanks for keeping the airways real.
Keeping the airways real.
Yeah,
Well, I'll tell you, Jim, I can't let them get away with this stuff, you know?
no, I hear ya.
I mean, they'll take you every way they can.
Yeah,
Right? Yeah.
that's the truth. I tell her that you called?
Well, no, I was just checking in. Chat with Glendora's going fine. Okay, Jim, what are the times again that it's on?
Gee, I don't know offhand. It usually plays around 1 in the afternoon.
Yeah, 1:30.
I can go look if you want.
No, I don't want to trouble you. 1:30 to 2, I think, on Tuesday.
That sounds about right.
And
This is
Wednesday,
Los
1:30.
Alamos.
Is that still true, do you think?
That sounds about right, yeah.
Oh, that's good, Nick. I'll tell you today's joke.
Oh, yeah, okay, I'm ready.
Yeah. The warden said to the man named Charlie, he says, "Charlie, you must be lonesome in here. You never have any friends or relatives come to see you." And Charlie says, "Oh, no, warden, they're all in here with me."
Well, I found out about the negotiations of Time Warner, AOL Time Warner, and Mount Vernon. I think that's the only non-Cablevision franchise in Westchester now, is Mount Vernon. And they let the renewal date of the franchise just go by. The city of Mount Vernon, as usual, is asleep. And as usual, the New York State Public Service Commission is asleep. Folks, why do we put up with these nincompoops? Why do we do that? Why don't we get good people in office? Oh. A Chat with Glendora is on in Mount Vernon at 6:30 p.m. Channel 18 every Thursday. And here's a joke for you. I remember the last time about the renewal of Time Warner in Mount Vernon, that Mount Vernon was so fast asleep, they lost public access. Public access shut down for a month.
Remember that?
And
telephone directory. There were so many Wings and so many Wongs. Everybody was winging the Wong number.
Very good. Okay, that's a good one.
Take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. There. That's all the odious renewals won.
Okay?
Yeah, you want to hear today's joke?
What is it?
The warden said to Harry, you must be lonesome in here. You never have any friends or relatives come to see you. And Harry says, oh no, warden, they're all in here with me.
That's a good one.
Okay, thanks a lot, Mark.
All right, no problem.
All righty.
Bye-bye.
This is Kevin Bailey of RCN.
I got a joke for you, Kevin.
Okay.
Adam was talking to God, and he said, God, why did you make Eve? And God said, well, I thought you were lonesome. And Adam says, why did you make her so beautiful? And God said, so he would like her. And Adam says, God, why did you make her so dumb? And God said, so she would like you?
I like that. I like that. That's a good one. That's funny, a better one. I like that.
Oh, good, so we're on it.
Omar at Queens Public Access TV is doing a good job. He's taking care of everything.
All right.
I trust you.
Okay.
So when I send you out a tape Monday,
Yeah.
I'll send you those stamps again.
All right, no problem.
How's that?
Sure, that's fine.
Yeah, that's good. All right, you want to hear today's joke?
Yeah, let's hear today's joke.
All right. They're not going to publish the Chinese telephone directory anymore. There's so many Wings and so many Wongs that everybody is winging the wrong number. That certainly fits your neighborhood, doesn't it?
That's pretty good.
That's dirty again on Monday. That's good. Okay? I think that's good to leave it at the same time.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay, you want to hear today's joke?
Sure.
All right. Adam was talking to Eve. Excuse me. Adam was talking to God about Eve. He says, why did you make Eve? And God says, I thought you were lonesome. And
We ran out of battery again. I'll be glad when the new 2.5-hour battery gets here. I called Kellogg's again, and I asked for Mr. Gutierrez, the chief executive, or the chairman and president. And I asked Rosemary to give him a message that he bought Worthington Foods, and Worthington Foods manufactured Wham. Wham is a vegetable protein, and it's delicious. It tastes better than ham. They've changed the recipe, or they changed the flavor, and it's inedible now, and I'd like to have them go back to the original Wham. And then I told her a joke. It's on audio tape, you can hear it if you'd like. Folks, you remember that case, Glendora versus Jackie Sellers, those miserable people in public access in the nation's capital? You know, they think they're little czarinas, and they haven't put on the program. And I took them to court in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and that judge was no good, of course. What would you expect of a United States District Judge? And then I took them to court in the District of Columbia. And for a long time they refused to file the case, remember that? And I told them I was going to sue them. In fact, I did sue them. And they did file the case. And so this Friedman has had the case now for like 7 or 8 months. He's done nothing. So here's what I said to them today.
Hi, this is Glendora, and I'd like the status on my case.
I'm sorry, what is your name?
Glendora. I would like to know if you could give me the status on my case, Glendora versus Jackie Sellers.
Okay, do you have the case number?
Yes, I do. It must be CV 020855.
Okay, it looks like there's been no recent activity, so the judge must have it under advisement. That's all that I can tell you.
Okay, well, I urge you, please, that my rights are being violated, and I would like justice.
Okay.
This is nice. At the crossroads, illuminating and enabling life choices. Louise D. Nielsen, M.A., American Association of Christian Counselors, 1-877-478-7828, P.O. Box 672, Newburgh, New York, 12551. Stand at the crossroads. Ask for the ancient paths. Ask where the good way is, and walk in it, and you will find rest for your souls. Jeremiah 6:1-16. I think I went to the crossroads. I think I took the good way. This is Lou Yavoli's wife.
Adam said to God, why did you make Eve? And God says, well, I thought you were lonesome. And Adam says, well, God, why'd you make her so beautiful? And God said, so you would like her. And God, why did you make her so dumb? God said, so she would like you. I love it. Okay. I love it. Okay. Be well. You too. Okay. Bye-bye.
Lou Yavoli's wife. Long Island. Next tape up is Leeds Jackson, and it's about a traffic violation in the Bronx at Bronx Park East, Pelham Parkway, and Route 1.
You got that?
No.
What's new with you?
It's just, that's all? It's just postponed until January?
Yeah, well, I filed a complaint against the cop with the internal affairs. I sent a letter to the commissioner.
Oh, that's good. To the police commissioner?
Yeah, and internal affairs. And then I sent a letter to the traffic commissioner, and he sent it to the administrative law judge in Brooklyn as an asshole. So now I have to file a FOIL request for a copy of the tape recording.
Okay, back up now. Take it one step at a time and keep it clean. You filed a, what'd you do in Brooklyn?
I didn't do anything in Brooklyn. I filed an internal affairs complaint against the cop with a copy of the letter and a complaint to the police commissioner.
Okay.
You got that?
Yep.
And I sent a letter to the commissioner of motor vehicles complaining about the ALJ,
Well, the ALJ being what?
administrative law judge.
Oh, okay.
Then I filed a complaint with the Commission on Judicial Conduct, which said that they don't have any jurisdiction over ALJs.
Oh, they don't?
No.
Yeah. That's interesting. What was your complaint against the administrative law judge?
That he was colluding with the policeman and fixing tickets, and that he threw me out of a public courtroom with no reason.
Okay. Okay. Good for you. Good for you. Tell me about how he threw you out of the courtroom.
He said, are you a lawyer? And I said, do you have a lawyer? And he said, do you have any witnesses? And I said, I don't have to tell you whether I have any witnesses because the people haven't put on their case yet.
Oh, wow.
And he threw me out.
What did he say?
He said, get out of here. Don't come back.
And what was his name?
Danziger.
First name?
Michael S. Danziger.
Oh, and he's located in the Bronx?
Yeah. What I want to do is get a copy of the tape so that maybe we can play it on cable TV.
Yeah, well, you just recorded it. I'll play it on TV right now.
Yeah, I gotta crank out the FOIL request for the tape.
And that's where you're going to file that?
That's gonna go to the Commissioner of Motor Vehicles in Albany.
In Albany? Uh-huh. That's very interesting. What was wrong with the judge? Why was he so mad at you because you said that?
They just go through the docket at like 10 million miles an hour. Everybody's, presumed guilty. The collection agency, everybody knows what goes on in that place. And outside of the city, they actually have plea bargaining, and it's in a court, and the district attorney or somebody actually shows up. better general principle. In other words, the cop is there. He saw the whole thing, but the cops come down and they don't give you their memo books or anything, and they tell fairy tales.
It's true.
So, I mean, the whole proceeding is kind of, it's really a sham.
All right, so he threw you out of the courtroom, so how'd you know what happened next that you were at it?
Oh, he said, I'm postponing this case till January 8th. I also found out that there's always the same cop writing tickets at that same intersection.
Oh, really? What is the intersection?
Bronxport East, or Boston Post Road and Pelham Parkway.
Oh, okay.
Facing north.
Okay, facing north.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Actually, you put one on here.
Oh, yeah. What one was that?
I was going to talk to flies upside down.
Tell me.
They crack up.
A man in the Oval Office saw a gold phone, and he was told that you could talk to God on that phone. He talked to God for 3 minutes. He says, "What do I owe you people?" And they said $300. That same month, he was transferred to Israel, and he saw a gold phone. Oh, yes, you can talk to God on that phone. So he called God. He talked to him for 3 minutes. "What do I owe you?" They said 30 cents. He says, "What? In the White House, I paid $300 for the same thing." And they said, "Over here, it's a local call." Okay.
Well, folks, it's 6 o'clock in the morning, and we'll start making masters. I think we have 3, 4, 7, 8 or 9 half hours. A chat with Glendora this week. 9 different editions. And so masters 1, 2, and 3 were made last week. So now we'll do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and maybe 9. Here goes. See ya. The attorney's fees for 2 attorneys, naturally Glendora, but they have refused to pay the fees for the town board. The Poughkeepsie Journal, and the suit is in the United States District Court in White Plains. And I wonder what inept judge has it. Probably Bryant.
Hasn't he retired yet?
His ego won't let him. Look at those nice gasoline prices, folks. What are you paying for gas? It's from Arabia or someplace. He looks Arabic. And so I thought it'd be interesting to tell him the joke, to see if he got it. And I said, "Do you know that computers are in the Bible? That Eve said to Adam, 'Do you want an apple too?' And you know something? He didn't get it. Isn't that funny? He didn't get it. I thought that was so interesting. So hard to get home before dark with this
Yeah.
standard time. There, we made that difficult turn.
Yeah. 282, that's where we live.
Good for you, Frankie. You're such a sport. Frankie's such a sport. 2 weeks ago that malaise came upon him. And today, he just made up his mind to get into the car and go on the errands. Be very brave. And it's dark already. It takes so long to keep these finance books. You get a receipt for everything. You put down in the diary the date and what it was, how much it cost. Then at the end of the week you add up how much you spent, business and personal. And then you have to take every item from the diary and put it over here under the columns for the month. Like airtime, telephone, technical equipment, printing, office supplies, postage, car repair, newspapers, office rent, gasoline, tolls, parking, one time only, donations receipted, donations unreceipted. And now I have to add up all of these month columns and put those way back here under the end of the year, under the year sheet. And Katie sits right on my work. What makes you so chummy today, Katie? Finance book. I had to enter them onto the year sheets. And I can't do it, finish it, because in the noon mail I have to get Manhattan Neighborhood Network, the renewal. And they wanted it in by the 1st. And what's today? The 7th. They also had a questionnaire. What did we think of various things? I think Manhattan Neighborhood Network is good. So let me get this renewal in by the noon mail. Public access, Manhattan, Time Warner, City of New York. These are the chrysanthemums I rescued out of a shopping cart a week ago. Now look at them. Aren't they sweet and robust? They would have been left to die, to be trampled on. Well, the finance book is done. The expenses are entered. The end of the week is done. The columns are added up. That's the end of the month. And the totals are put into the year, the end of the year sheet. So it's the diary is for the week, the totals are for the month, and then the year totals. And I rushed around so hard to get that Manhattan Neighborhood Network thing mailed on the noon mail, and it doesn't make any difference. The only thing that makes a difference is the 5 p.m. truck. You have to get it in the box before 5 p.m. Only 7 jobs came into the mail. Yeah, last week it was 15 last week. The week before 3, and the week before that 23. And one of these 7 is done, so there's 6 left. If you folks are struggling with a nasty and greedy landlord, and I don't think there's any other kind, here's an organization that helps people, tenants and neighbors. And let's see, do they give their address? Yes, 105 Washington Street, 2nd floor, New York, New York, 10006. So they might help you out. Tenants and neighbors. We should send them $4. So there's 8 things that came in the in-mail. So that's the 8th job. Stand-up clipboard does a good job. Manhattan Neighborhood Network. They do a good job too. This is their renewal. They had just started doing this recently. For years they didn't do it. Glendora has been on Manhattan Neighborhood Network, or rather been on Manhattan Cable TV since 1973, 4. And if there's no changes, you don't have to send this in again. And it's really fancy address for it. 110 Riverside Drive, apartment 2C, 2E, New York, New York. Cy Amlin used to be a vice president for ABC under Silverman when ABC started to lead in the ratings. And it's a very fancy address on Riverside Drive. It's the building where Babe Ruth lived, and it's the building he lived in, the last place he lived. This was his address when he died.
In the bank. Last month, someone asked if I read the Bible. The Bible? I'm successful, I'm happy. What do I need the Bible for? I can get more from the Wall Street Journal. But that made me curious. So I decided to take a second look.
I'm on my feet all day. When I go home, I just want to turn on the TV and relax. But read the Bible? All those these and thous and begats? Who wants to struggle with that after waiting on customers all day? But then a friend showed me this version written in modern English, and I was surprised.
This guy I play hoops with said I should start reading it, the Bible. Man, I said, I don't need no Bible. I mean, it just ain't cool. So he goes, I read it all the time. And he beat me by 20 points. So he gives me his Bible. I read it. It ain't hoops, but it ain't bad.
What's your excuse? Before you make an excuse to avoid reading the Bible, stop. Take a second look. Pick up the Bible for 5 minutes, and you may pick it up for a lifetime.
40 dubs. And it took from 6 o'clock this morning to right about now, with many, and, well, no, the masters took until about 2 o'clock, and there are only two runs. That would be 10 dubs each run. So I'd say the dubbing took only a couple hours. There wasn't any videotaping. I remind you again that it's been 9 years this month that I've been fighting the law breaking of Charles F. Dolan and Cablevision Systems Corporation. 9 years. Okay, that was on Veterans Day, Armistice Day, on November 11th. And that postmaster out in East Hampton, out in Wainscott, out in Amagansett, Montauk, that postmaster, he doesn't know beans. He says that you can't send media mail 4 VHS for $1.43, $1.42 actually. He doesn't know his job. Postmaster out there in Wainscott, you don't know your job. You can send 4 VHS media mail for $1.42. Jim Lehman in Rockland County and I just had a nice long conversation here on Saturday night. And I told Jim if he's thinking of selling his camera, let me know. I like his camera because it has that lens that opens inside the camera and shuts automatically, an automatic shutter, which you don't have. I can't find it in the other camcorders, the other Sonys, and it also has a remote. So if Jim buys a camcorder, a digital hookup to a computer, I say, let me know about his. We'll talk about buying his.
If you think of selling your camera or anything, let me know.
Okay.
And getting a digital, let me know.
I will. Okay.
Yeah, I could live with your camera. I guess I can live with my my camcorder too, but...
Okay. All right, so give me a joke.
A man in the White House, he saw a gold phone, and the people there told him he could talk to God on that phone, and he called God and he talked for 3 minutes, and he said, how much do I owe you to the people? And they said $300, and that same month, the man was transferred to Israel, and they saw a gold phone, and the people said, oh yes, you can talk to God on that phone. He talked to God for 3 minutes, and he said, how much do I owe you? And people said 30 cents. He says, what? Same thing in the White House cost me $300. And they said, over here it's a local call.
Very good.
And look at this beautiful November day. There's the mulberry tree. Must be even beautiful in Buffalo. Yesterday they had a snowstorm the night before. And here's the 1993 Lincoln, all ready to take us to church. We'll pick up the laundry. Thank you, God, for a perfect day of weather. Sunday morning, folks, on our way to two churches. Franklin is in the back seat folding the laundry. Would like to go for a nice ride on a sunny day? Just ride along. Universe, born, alive, healthy, food, clothing, home, freedom, independence, no catastrophes, finances, education, TV career, TV business, husband's job. No hurricanes, no fires, no tornadoes, no blizzards, no automobile accidents, no robberies. We got him on camera, didn't we, folks? Isn't that awful? Me first. Me first. He couldn't slow down and do what he was supposed to. Yield. So we go on into this beautiful day, this perfect day. And we pray for that person, that he be a Homo sapiens and not a Neanderthal. Maybe a Neanderthal is a Homo sapiens. On television and come to, we hope so. It's a much better life than that. This is the Taconic State Parkway. It goes from New York City to Albany in general. It's the state of New York, the county of Dutchess. And here's the turnoff to the church.
I'm thankful for him. say that this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. And the good news that comes to you is that there's grace, there's mercy, there's peace that's available to us from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ through the power and through the presence of the Holy Spirit in this place. It's a joy and it's a privilege for me to welcome you to the Hopewell Reformed Church, especially if you are here for the first time. Today we celebrate what God has given us, and I just want you to stand, to turn to somebody and say, God has given you great things today. You got all that?
Yep.
God is good. And then we're going to be called into our opening hymn by our choir. Sunday school, they start this morning in Sunday school, except the high schoolers are invited to stay in here. Let us join together. Glory to the Father.